Good evening and welcome to the Whiskey Lover Society with me, Gert Retief. And tonight a little bit of a different video. I do have a whiskey to taste. I have some of the whiskies that I will be talking about that's coming up in the future. And of course, I also need to talk a little bit on the charity that we are supporting. So as you saw in the thumbnail, tonight is all about Whisky and Charity. And of course, I had to mention some of the awesome whiskey channels that's out there that have helped me through my journey in the last year and a half. When I started doing some whiskey reviews online, I've always been a fan of the whiskies. I think it's now about 35 years that I started drinking some. Of course, it was the old cheap blended whiskies, but since moving here to Belgium in the last 7 years, I had the opportunity to taste so many fantastic whiskies. So tonight it's all about the charity, it's all about the whiskey, and it's all about the good friends that I've made over the last year and a half on the whiskey YouTube community. So I'm going to start off just to give you a little bit of background. As you know, about almost 7 years ago, I moved here to Belgium. And my wife and I realized that there's so many people in South Africa that's facing a difficult time. My mother-in-law runs a one-man band charity organization, and she is supporting so many people. I think the last count that I had was about 85 families and 35 children. And about 6 years ago, my wife visited her in South Africa, and she told me the story about this young boy that was in a wheelchair, and the only thing he wanted for Christmas was peanut butter. And he loved his peanut butter, and he keeps his peanut butter always with him, attached to his wheelchair. And that was a nice story, but it was also a sad story, that if you ask a child what do you want for Christmas, and they tell you they want peanut butter. Now from then on we decided maybe it's time for us to also do something and help this charity out. It is a non-profit, a non-governmental, or people from the government is of course not giving a cent towards this charity. And we had a situation where the government also said that they are not allowed to give out food to some of the charities, especially donations. So that was the start of our journey with regards to children in South Africa. Now I had a fantastic couple of years. I have fantastic friends here in Belgium, colleagues working with me, always willing to give something towards the children. So at the end of every month, we take all the donations, we send it to South Africa. And the nice thing is, I know that 100% of that money goes towards food parcels, also for clothing, and also for school stationery. In South Africa, we still have to pay for our own stationery, own school clothes, uniform. So in South Africa, all schools are using uniforms, and it costs a lot of money. So it was a privilege for me and my wife to start this little fundraiser here in Belgium. And I must say it's going well over the last 6 years that we have done this fundraising. Every month we manage to give enough money so that at least people can go to bed with some food in their stomach. So the main purpose of this video is to talk about the charities. So of course you never have enough money to cover all the expenses. Food items in South Africa is becoming extremely expensive. Prices are going up on a monthly basis. So the money is getting less and less and less. So for me and my wife, we decided, how can we get more donations? How can we make more money in order for us to send those money to South Africa. Now, my wife is an artist. The paintings here at the back is all her paintings, and you'll see during the course of all my videos, I try to keep on changing the paintings. That's all her artwork. And the last one that she did here for me, I do like this one. Maybe I can show you a little bit. It's all about the doors, opening up the doors. And I think this is a really fitting painting for this video. I think the whole idea behind this video is to open up doors to the community, of course doors to finances, doors to bless somebody else that are really in need. So for me, I'd like to open some of the doors today, and maybe also give you a little bit of insight of what is happening here in Belgium and what's happening in my home country of South Africa. So the first thing that I did do a little bit, and I know this is nothing to do with whiskey yet, but I will come to some whiskey in a little bit. But I was looking online and I thought to myself, what is charity? And I found this fantastic phrase here on charity, and it says generosity, helpfulness, especially towards the needy or the suffering, also give aid given to those in need. Now, for me, that was so nicely put, and for me, that is absolutely fantastic, and the feeling of giving something to somebody that really needed, absolutely fantastic. A little bit of encouragement for everybody. So with that in mind, my wife is now doing some paintings, and all the proceeds that she gets, she will send some money to South Africa. And I thought, how do I contribute to this? We already do it monthly basis from my salary, but I thought it was a good idea to bring some other people in, and so many of my colleagues decided to do a debit order, pay a monthly, and we are doing well, but of course there's always room for improvement. As the more and more families are added to this charity, of course the more money we need. So with that, I am no artist, so I cannot paint and sell things, but I do love my video reviews, and I know we have a fantastic community out there. So in the end, I decided to make a Patreon account. I'm so excited. I've got my first Patreon, and of course that money will go straight to them. Patreon, they do take a little bit of a percentage, but of course sometimes you also need to pay the taxes. So that I consider the taxes. The rest of the money will go 100% to the kids in South Africa. We also have a Buy Me a Coffee. Not sure how it works, but I did add one. I will put a link on everything in the description. So if you feel the need to send some money to the kids in South Africa, please use the Patreon account. Buy Me a Coffee. I also have a PayPal account, so if you reach out to me, you can also donate via the PayPal account. Also, I did create a merchandise store. Can you imagine my age creating some merchandise, some nice shirts, caps, and all of those things? I will put a link in the description. Again, 100% of the proceeds will go towards the children. I haven't sold anything yet, but of course I haven't really advertised it, but it is there. If you feel the need to buy something for somebody else, it is relatively cheap. Of course, I just create the logos, and another company is filling the order. So how much money I get out of it, I don't know, but you can know that all that money will go to South Africa. So with that, I'm going to just pour myself something to drink. Been saying a lot. I'm not sure how many people are still listening to my little bit of a story, but for those people that do listen to my story and find it fascinating, I will do a little bit of whiskey talking, and of course. And I also like to mention some of the whiskey community that has been absolutely fantastic over the last year and a half of my journey. And I think one that really stood out for me, well, a couple of really stood out for me, but the one sent me a whiskey sample, a weed ram, and I just like this bottle. So like a little bottle that you can sip on and not spilling. And this, of course, comes from Greg's Whiskey Guide. What a fantastic guy! He lives in Paris, France. We've been communicating for a while on online forums, on Instagram, and on his whiskey channel. He's absolutely fantastic guy. He's got so much knowledge, so many whiskies that he's tried, and he's got a nice ability to blend some really good whiskies. So he did send me a couple of samples of his blends. So I will also try them in the future and maybe do a little bit of a video on them. So tonight we are talking at the Johnnie Walker Blue Label. This is a 2010 bottle. And from what I can see, there could be whiskies up to 25 to 50 years old whiskey in it. Not so sure the handwriting, sorry Greg, but it's a little bit difficult to read sometimes. But that is the whiskey that he sent me, and he sent me this in response to the Johnnie Walker Blue Label video that I made some time ago, and I did a little bit of comparison with that with the Royal Salute 21-year-old, and I thought to myself, I was not such a big fan of the new Johnnie Walker Blue Label, and he said, well, you have to try the old one. So this is the old 2010 bottle of Johnnie Walker Blue Label, and I could be totally wrong. Unfortunately, of course, my other sample was gone. It went down the hatch, like Alan Wilson would say. But from memory, I have to go on a memory, and I also had a look at my notes. And for me, this is a completely different whiskey than the Johnnie Walker that I had not so long ago. This is a lovely sweeter one, I think. On the other one, there was a little bit of a harshness to that alcohol. I don't get that on this one. There's a lovely furniture polish note coming out. That rich butterscotch caramel toffee note coming out. That's bottled at 43% ABV, and there's not a lot of alcohol on it, but it is just lovely. A little bit of a dusty woody note coming out, a little bit of a raisin note coming out. Absolutely fantastic on the nose. But before I go on to the taste, I would also like just to thank all the people that have helped me through my journey in the whiskey YouTube community. And of course, I have to start off with Alan Wilson, the whiskey friend. Absolutely fantastic guy. You know, when I started off 1.5 years ago, I started just communicating with people online when they do their whiskey live reviews, which I find fascinating, scary. I don't think it's something that I would like to do. I think there will be too much silence in my video, dead space. So I'm not going to venture in that direction soon. But you know, we were discussing some of the whiskies. Some of them it was very difficult to get, and one of them was the Kilkerran 8-year-old that just came out, the Oloroso Sherry one. And I thought, well, wow, that looks like a fantastic whiskey. And immediately he said, well, when you have to try it, give me your address and I will send you a sample. And I was a little bit surprised. I don't know him, I've never met him. And 3 weeks later, a box of samples arrived from Alan Wilson. So that was, to me, I think the eye-opener, that a lot of people in this whiskey community is really open for this type of interaction, although you have a small channel, and I think by that time I had about 5 or 6 subscribers. So for this, for Alan to send me a sample of whiskey, just to say, have a try, see what you think, and make a video of it. So that for me was absolutely fantastic. So I have a cheat sheet, so just to remember all the people. Multicasking, Gene and Charlie. Now this is one of the first videos that I actually watched with regards to bourbons. They have a huge collection of bourbon. They have a fantastic interaction between the two of them, the husband and wife. So much humor, so much information, so much different bourbons. So if I need some information with bourbon, I like to go look at what their videos are, what do I need to find, what do I need to look for, and I have some nice nosing and tasting. Although in the last couple of videos I see Jean has been loving the Macallans. So it seems like she's going over to the wrong side of the pond, but it's absolutely fantastic to watch him. And of course, again, I will put a link in the description for all of the people that I am talking about tonight, so that you can go watch their videos, follow them, and see what all the fuss is about. The next one that I have to talk about is the Whisky Wars, also there in the US, Shawn. Fantastic guy, friendly guy, lovely reviews that he's doing, and I also always enjoy listening to the things that he says. So much knowledge with regards to the whiskies with the E, the bourbons, the American whiskies. Absolutely fantastic videos to watch. Then of course you need to talk about the Kanpai Planet Mac. If you want anything to know anything about the whiskies from Japan, he is the guy. Absolutely fantastic. His channel is growing on a daily basis. So many people are following him now. His video productions are fantastic. Absolutely fantastic editing. So much information. Really enjoy it. And of course, even though he's doing so many videos, and of course he's got so many subscribers now, he always have a time to leave a comment, look at my humble little videos, give me some feedback, some more information that I might have missed. So I really appreciate everything that he is done for my channel as well. One channel that I have to also mention, and this is one of the first whiskey video reviews that I've ever watched, and that is the Whisky Couch. That is actually a South African, Gustuf, and every now and then he puts his wife in the videos as well, and they do a little bit of a couples review with a little bit of a food pairing. Now unfortunately it seems that he is no longer doing any videos. I did reach out via this last video to see what's going on, did not get any response, so I'm not sure what's happening there, but absolutely a nice guy. Really enjoyed this video, and I enjoyed the food pairing that he did with the video, so I will have a look. There can be some nice information all the way from Pretoria, South Africa. The next one, of course, that I need to talk about is Scotch Down Under. Ken, he is the master of live YouTube channel. He does so many hours on a day, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours, just having a wee virtual pub. People can drop in, talk about whiskey. He's got a huge collection, so much knowledge of scotches, bourbons, you name the whiskey, and every time I mention something, he reaches somewhere at the back and he pulls out the bottle that I was talking about. Absolutely fantastic guy. And of course all the people that join him in his live streams, absolutely fantastic people. But just to mention JD Bourbon, Dustin, absolutely fantastic guys, and they are always willing to part some knowledge if you need more information with any whiskey. Most of them have tried it before. Only a couple of to go, and I think the one that I also need to mention is the Whiskey Trials. Niel. He had a live show almost a year ago, and he had a bottle of 25-year-old Glencairn, and he just bought the bottle, and he decided just to give away samples on the bottle. So he did a random pick on his live feed, and I was lucky enough to get one, and it took a while, and eventually I received my 25-year-old Glencairn, and I think that was at that stage the oldest Glencairn that I've tasted. Well, it was the oldest whiskey that I tasted. Of course, he ruined me because now I'm chasing that old bottles, and of course the budget does not allow for any old bottles. Also, I know it's getting along, but I need to bring all the people in that I really enjoy watching. Whiskey Straight L, Big L, absolutely fantastic guy, if I remember correctly, an ex-cop, so a little bit of a kindred spirit. I was also an ex-cop in my days, so it was absolutely nice to see him, his friendly interaction, absolutely fantastic guy to follow. Big into the Irish whiskies, big Irish fan, Irish whiskey. If he wants to know anything about the Irish whiskies, he's always a nice one to go look. Only 4 to go, and the one that is also really standing out is the Whisky Novice, Jim. Well, I don't think he's really a novice after so many reviews, so many whiskey tastings. Absolutely fantastic guy, fantastic musician as well. And it's nice to watch his online reviews and to interact with him. He's always got something nice to say, and it's always nice to get a comment from Jim. Prime Whiskey, Rika. Absolutely fantastic guy as well. I love watching his reviews. I love reading his comments. I like to interact with him. Fantastic reviews, and a really laid back guy. No nonsense, just giving you the facts. To love his whiskey reviews. And of course, the Whisky Lock. Now, the Whisky Lock, I started following quite a long time ago. He is very laid back, friendly guy, also enjoying whiskey. Also quite a new channel, if I'm correct. I think he only started also in the pandemic, having a little bit of time to spare, working from home, same as me. So I think we more or less, I think I only started a couple of months maybe after him, so it was really nice to meet him as well. He also did a fantastic thing the other day. He mentioned me in one of his reviews as a video or YouTube channel to watch, and I thought that was quite cool. And eventually I picked up, I think, about 20 subscribers just because of his generosity. So, and the last one, of course, I need to talk about ralfydotcom. Now, I've been watching also Ralphie for many years, and I've watched him to going from just reviewing the whiskey right up to the extras, right up the ranting and the raving, and of course the conflict that he have with some of the distilleries. I do like it. I like the outlandish, nosy notes that he gets. Or I don't know sometimes where he gets it from, but I do like his sense of humor. I like his passion to whiskey, and I like the way that he tries to change the whiskey for everybody and give us enough information that we don't waste our money. But of course, it's all about the nosing and tasting. All of these reviewers, it's quite a personal thing. Sometimes I might say a whiskey is fantastic, I love it, and you will try it and you will tell me that you don't like it, it's not your type of whiskey. Of course, that is what whiskey is all about. We have to find a whiskey that we like. We need to find a whiskey that we are comfortable with. And of course, it's not always easy. Now, I still have my whiskey here. And it, time in a glass does make a difference. This is really nice. Johnny Walker Blue Label. Old version, definitely better. On the taste, absolutely fantastic. Greg, I think you were right. I think I was a little bit too judgmental on the new version, and you are right, the older version is so much better. And this is not the first time that I've seen an older version is so much better. Boenehaven comes to mind. Also some of the Aarons, the older Aarons was a little bit better for me. Let me just give it one more try. Sweet, rich, oily mouthfeel, a little bit of a toffee note coming out, a little bit of a raisiny note coming out. Alcohol, definitely not going to add water to this one. This is just perfect for me. Absolutely fantastic. Now, the last thing that I also want to talk about is the little bit of a future. And being all about the charity and charity organizations, they say charity begins at home. And I have really been blessed with so many whiskies coming to me as a gift. If it's not my son, it's colleagues, friends. Everybody knows that I like the whiskey. And I just want to just show you my last bottle that I got as a gift. This is from a colleague from me at work, Danny. I don't think you will mind mentioning it. And of course, it's the Talisker 8-year-old. This is the Talisker single malt Scotch whiskey, 8-year-old, special release 2021. They say a wild spirited Scotch with a bold and brine licked character. And from what I know, natural color, non-chill filtered, bottled at an eye-watering 59.7% ABV. Let me show you the color. I haven't opened the bottle yet. Definitely natural color. It is a smoky one, so I expect to find a lot of smoke on it. And I do like the label. So I was quite excited to taste this one. But I do have additional information that they put on from a selection of our smokiest reserves. Me and smoke. So I'm quite looking forward to nosing and tasting this one. And of course, also the next one that I got as a gift, and this is also from a friend and colleague, also a big whiskey drinker. I think he drinks even more whiskey than I am drinking at the moment. And this is a special release. This is a festival bottling. Whiskey aan het strand, so whiskey at the beach. This was a cancelled bottle due to the COVID. We on the 29th January. So we cancelled the festival in Holland. And of course, this is from the Benriach distillery. It is a single malt Scotch whiskey, 7 years old. This is bottle number 2 of 72 bottles. And it's bottled at 60.4% ABV. Non-chill filtered, natural color, right here on the label. So that is for me how it should be done. The next one, but I also find quite special, also a new addition to the whiskey, is the Adelphi selection. This is a independent bottler. Quite looking forward to this one. For some reason I do like the small labels. So I need a little bit of a magnification here. So this is bottled at 53.2% ABV. This is from the Ben Rhines distillery. This is a 10-year-old, natural color and non-chill filtered, and it is bottled at cask strength. So quite looking forward to it. Lovely dark color to it, so big sherry cask influence. So this is a single malt Scotch whiskey, and this is bottle number 1 of 273. So quite interesting. I got the first bottle of 273. So quite excited to try this one as well. Another bottle that I picked up, and I also as a gift, and it's something that I need to try quite soon, is the Paul John Indian single malt whiskey. Lovely color. I do like the whiskies from India, Amrut, and some of the Paul Johns. So I got this one. This is the Christmas edition single malt Scotch whiskey. It is matured in ex-bourbon casks, and when they use port casks and Madeira casks, you cannot go wrong. Port and Madeira, bottled at 46% ABV, natural color, non-chill filtered. And the last bottle that I actually bought myself, most people have seen my YouTube channel. I do love my Japanese whiskies, the Nikas, the Yamazakis, the Ibikis. So I also picked up a bottle at the duty-free shop. I know I overspent on the duty-free, probably by 10 euro. More expensive than in my online shop. And that is the Akashi. So I was quite looking forward to it, to try something new. It's a Japanese blended whiskey. They don't give a lot of information. It is blended whiskey, 40% ABV, so a little bit the run-of-the-mill type of whiskey. But I was curious to see what I can get out of it. Color, lovely color to it. Of course, most probably they have added color to it, so we don't really know. It is malt and grain they have on the bottle, so really no information on it, but I do like the attention to detail, the lovely paper that they use. It's just normal, look like high quality. I like the Japanese writing for some reason. Never cared what it means, but I do like the idea of the bottle. So let me know which one do you would like to see me open to review. Which one have you tried of these bottles? I'm curious to see which one you think is the best between the last selections that I got from friends and family, and of course the one buying myself. So thank you very much for watching this long video. Remember to like and subscribe. And the idea, if I reach the 1,000 subscribers, of course, that will also create a little bit of an ad revenue. Not much from what I've seen, but every cent that we can make can go to the children in South Africa. So, and that can also maybe generate the income for years to come for people watching my humble videos. So please, if you feel to contribute, maybe you cannot give money, but you can give a subscription which costs you nothing, and of course that will in the end generate the income for the kids in South Africa. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for all the wonderful people in the YouTube community. I hope you don't mind me mentioning you, and I wish you a fantastic weekend, and I see you next time. Cheers.